Well, we were talking, and then we had to cut our conversation, start with the interview. But one of the things that stood out for me, just in terms of what you said, was a word, and you used the word illusion. Just talk to us a little bit about how that word fits into all of this, from where we've come from post '94 to where we are right now.
I think currently there is lots of assumptions out there about Black people and whether they have made any progress on their own since the transition to democracy and what has really happened. And some of these assumptions become popular in the media in a way that you ask whether do facts really have
What are some of those assumptions that jump out at you?
Some of the assumptions is that nothing is happening. Things have gotten worse. Some of the assumptions are that Blacks can only progress with the help of government. But what we have tried to analyze is, have Black people, just by the removal of apartheid alone, by any means improved themselves, given that apartheid was a bad system and constrains them from progress?
And what has the index found?
And the index has found that significantly in many components of the index, Blacks have progressed. Other areas still need something to be done to increase the progress.
What are those areas?
Areas like land ownership, areas like property ownership, but when you go to other areas like education, other areas like in professions, incomes have increased. And I say that incomes have increased for Blacks, especially the working Black. When there is lots of discussions out there about the fact that there is lots of inequality in South Africa, we like comparing apples with grapes, because you're comparing the incomes of people who are working with those who are not working. In South Africa, we have a labor market participation rate of 52%, which means that lots of the people who are in the working population are not in the job market in the first place. So it is hard to start quantifying whether they have progressed or they have not progressed, because they are not even in the job market. And most of these have been held captives by government in terms of dependence on government, where we have seen an increase from about 3 million in 2000 to 16 million currently, direct dependence on government, and the spending on the fiscals for these dependents has skyrocketed.
Well, one of the things that you were saying to me is that what you did with the index is you said, well, there are certain things that you feel that government should still be subsidizing or giving people, and there are other things that it shouldn't. So just speak to us about what you feel, is probably overcompensated and where government should probably be pulling back.
I think that compensation is probably a wrong word to use from my perspective. I think that government has a role to play in the South African economy to take the agenda of Black progress forward. And that role of government starts first by policy, making sure that there is a policy environment that can enhance Black progress without any kind of challenges, and also making sure that as government collects our tax revenue, it spends it in areas that can lead to sustainable Black development and not in areas that can compound dependence on government.
What are the areas that you feel are probably compounding?
Areas that can compound dependence, it's when you continue increasing grants or continue giving houses to people with no freehold title. People, those houses, some economists call it dead capital. They are not tradable, they can't relocate, people are like confined. And that is what, that does not happen in typical white suburbs. In white suburbs, people have freehold title deeds to their property. But in Black areas, it's a different kind of law, and it's surprising to me that it is the Black government that keeps Black people captive.
When you talk about that, though, just in terms of policy, aren't some of the policies like BEE, for instance, have they not been beneficial to the Black population in this country?
I think the analysts of BEE, and I'm not the first one to look at BEE policies, everyone has said they have had a mixed kind of output. Mixed in the sense that in to some extent in certain industries, it has led to the absorption of Black people into the workforce and the progress into managerial positions. In other instances, it's led to an increase in Black rich club to the detriment of the advancement of the entire Black population. So it's twofold.
Thank you so much for joining us. I wish we could talk more, but we've run out of time. Thank you so much, Vivian. That was Vivian Atud, economist at the Free Market Foundation, discussing government-led black economic empowerment in South Africa.